anything from going into half moon, like warrior 2 to half moon and warrior 3 to half moon?
Okay. You could tell me more than just one, by the way. If you're just giving me like one transition instead of a sequence that you like, if you have other ones, just let me know. I want to see if we can put a sequence together this morning based on what you come up with. No, nobody else.
The goddess, and then going into the half squat.
Oh,
to the right, to the left.
Okay, that sequence. Yeah, I like that sequence too. You don't have to think so hard. Just come, whatever pops to mind. It does not have to be a perfect answer. I just want to put a sequence together with you all. Nope. So only Audrey and Carol said something. How about the rest of you? What's the hesitation?
How about something with some twists, maybe from like low lunge or lunge twist?
Okay.
I like moving from warrior 1 into warrior 2 and then warrior 3. That sequence is useful for me.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. And anything with chair is a good one too. So I guess maybe the sun B.
Olga, you're last.
What did we finish? Do they have to go in that sequence?
No, just whatever. I will come up with.
Let's throw like the triangle and the what's it called? Like a triangle. I forgot, like the 1 and 2.
The pyramid?
Yeah, and then the pyramid. Let's add like some leg stretches.
Okay. So Carol, repeat yours. Everybody repeat yours real quick.
I wanted to practice stepping back from high lunge up to knee up and then going into eagle.
Okay. Audrey?
Warrior 2 into half moon and warrior 3 into half moon and the goddess squat sequence.
Okay.
Lunge twist, high and low lunge twist.
Okay.
Then, warrior 1, warrior 2, and into warrior 3.
Triangle. Oh, I forgot the name again.
Pyramid. Great. Let me put something together, okay? If I forget something you said, would you remind me? And we're gonna do warm-ups, and to the extent that I can, to the extent I can remember all of this, we're going to warm up so we can go into these more easily. All right, so please take a seat.
Mary Lou's screen is frozen, I think.
Oh, no, I can see her. She's moving. Yeah, she's fine. Make sure you mute. All right, let's get started. Inhaling, circle the arms up. Exhale, palms down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do the 3-part breathing. So as you move the arms, you want to be guided by the 3-part breath. Okay, we'll do it a few times. Same thing as you bring the arms down, that's the same. Inhale, part 1, and 2, and 3. Exhale. You can bring it however down you want. And 3. Inhaling, part 1, 2, and 3. Exhale, 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Top it off. Exhale, 1, 2, and 3. Squeeze more out. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Top it off. Exhale, 1, 2, and 3. Squeeze more out. Last time. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Top it off. Exhale, 1, 2, and 3. And squeeze more out, and just keep your palms here. Ujjayi breath. So today I will not correct you at all. You do what you can to correct yourself. Go through this like in this pose. And kind of break, I would break the body in sections with the as far as the spine's concerned, and just think, okay, what would you remind yourself in the cervical spine, in the thoracic spine, in the lumbar spine, and then finally into the sacrum area? How are you supporting all these sections? Inhaling, arms go up. Flex down into the hips, 1/3, just 1/3. Just draw the sit bones towards each other, anchor them back. And you want to make sure that you're anchoring by pushing off the legs, especially the front leg. That way you have anchor if you want to further flex the hips down. But let's not go down all the way. We're just going to go down just enough so you feel challenged. You do not need to overwork here because we're just starting. Inhaling, bringing back up, twist to the right. Stay here for 5 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take care of the spine in all of the 4 sections. And then come back to center. Work with resistance, especially on the return. Flex forward into the hips. Have your arms out into airplane. Let's pump it. 50 Kapalabhati breath. and bring it back up. Twist to the left. You've got 2 more breaths. And bring it back, inhaling. Flex forward into the hips. Get your arms out. Nice deep breath in. Pump it, 50. Come up. Palms down to the heart. Switch up the legs. Inhaling, arms up. Flex forward into the hips. And this time, if you want to, and if you feel your body's ready, go ahead and go down lower. But you have to create those anchors I was talking about. And then lower down on your hands, stay on your fingertips, cupcake hand position. Lengthen through the spine. We tend to round here. People who usually have a go into rounding, you definitely would be more likely to round here. And if you tend to bust a rib cage out, this pose will also expose that. So you take care of those patterns. Inhaling. And so continue to walk your hands out. Inhaling. Walk your hands to the right. You might find when you walk out to the right, the one side of your spine, of your torso, might be higher than the other side. You want to have both sides of your rib cage leveled in space. You kind of notice your spine here. Do you feel like your spine is curving, rounding to the right? Or are you stretching the left side of your torso much more in a straight manner instead of a curved manner? And kind of think about this and think about the rest of the body positions. Does it make more sense for your body, your spine to round out to the right? Or does it make more sense for the stretch to be more of a straight line on the left side? If you're not sure, it would be the latter. Okay, come back to center. Lengthen through the spine. And see if you can walk your hands out more. If not, it's okay, just stay where you are. You have to, every time you walk the hands or move the hands, we have to find what is the opposite action of it, because things move in opposite pairs. Inhaling. And walk your hands to the other side, left side. Very slowly come back. Inhaling. Walk your hands back up. So sit up straight. Inhaling, circle the arms up. Wrap your arms behind you. And you can use whatever hand position. We're going to go into a thoracic spine extension. So go into like a cow pose in the spine here. Focus more on the upper regions and less on popping out the rib cage. So as you're lifting through the chest, you want to zip the base of your sternum down towards the belly. This way you won't overexpose. Feel free to grab your strap. If you, you decide what you want to do, how to support the arm position. You want to go long, always. Elongate the spine before you ask the spine to do anything. I pretend that there's a rope tied, attached to the crown of my head, and it's lengthened me upwards. So the chin is definitely not stuck out. The back of your head does not go behind the rest of your body. Nor does the chin go forward of your body. And then slowly release, inhaling, bring the arms up. Exhale, palms down to the heart. Let's rise up on all fours. Slide back to child's pose. And come up on all fours. And slide back, child's pose. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhaling. Stay here on all fours. Let's pivot the hips from side to side. Kind of just to start to lubricate the pelvis. But we want to move methodically. If we're not moving mindfully or methodically, it would be just anybody, a beginner, or someone with no skills like yours. They're kind of just moving their body just randomly without any method. But we're way beyond that. Okay, half circle your hips from side to side. Half circle back. I would half circle back because we'll do the forward later. And we're just moving the pelvis to, again, lubricate and bring energy through the hips. Okay, now make full circles and try to make sure your circles are nice and round without jagged edges or corners. Reverse your circles. You don't need to make super large circles. Just make sure your circles are nice and round. Notice your breathing patterns as you make these circles. When we're making circles, there's no very clear in terms of which part to inhale and when to exhale. You have to figure that out. And then come back to center. Slide back to child's pose. Go into a prayer arm position. Let's put blocks underneath the elbows for this one. And let's start with the lowest level of the blocks and put your elbows on it. Wherever you have your elbows, you need to put them where you can elongate the spine in the front. Not to make you less space in the front, but more space in the front. Shoulder blades need to move back. Chest needs to move forward. You track, make sure the toes track the knees. The knees are hip width. And I'm pressing down to my blocks enough so I can flip the front edge of my blocks up. Once the front edge, the top edge, bottom edge of my block is up, I start to kind of give it some rocking motion. You don't have to rock it. You could just stay still. And then slowly release. Go ahead and put your hands on the blocks. Put your hands on the blocks to come up onto all fours. And step back into a plank pose. Your hands are on your blocks. Push your blocks away and anchor your shoulders back. This is one of the reasons you may have heard me mention that when your blocks, if it's mushy and soft, those are not good blocks. You need to have like dense blocks. Where when you're pushing, you don't feel like your hands are sinking into the block. They need to be able to rebound off your block. And downward facing dog. If you put too much weight into the wrist, you definitely would push into the block. This is when you know you need to shift more weight towards the palms and the fingers. In downward facing dog with the hands on the blocks, feel free to alternate heel press. If you have lotion on your hands and you're sliding, just put the block away because it's not worth it if you're sliding. Make sure the hands are solid with traction. Back to plank. A mini chaturanga push-up. Back to downward facing dog. Back to plank, inhale. Exhale, mini chaturanga push-up. And back to dog. Last time, so optional. And chaturanga push-up. Downward facing dog. Come back down on all fours. And bring your blocks one notch higher. And then put your elbows back on them. You can just stay put. Just pay attention to how you're stretching the upper arms and how that stretch is felt in the shoulders. You have to engage those rotator cuff muscles before you stretch. Otherwise, all we do is we load and we tax and compromise them. That connection, the joint, is so vulnerable. Of course, you can also rock up, like flip the bottom front edge of the block up if you want. And slowly release. Go ahead and put your hands back on the blocks. Now that the blocks, they're narrower, right? So much narrower. So you have to grab the sides of the block. And the way I grab my blocks before I push into them would be the thumbs on the inside of the blocks and sort of like the ring finger and the pinky finger on the outer side of the blocks. But my middle finger and index fingers are always on the blocks. That is because you need to be able to properly push off of it. At the same time, we're going to create more grip. Okay, press up into a plank. Adjust your blocks so that they're shoulder width. You know, you have to feel secure on the blocks. It is higher, obviously. Good. Check in with how you're anchoring through the hands. Get a firm grip and a push. There's no load into the wrist at all. Zero load. You got to create that anchor of the shoulder blades down the back without loading into your wrists. Inhaling, downward facing dog. Exhale. Make sure the bottom edge of the block does not tilt, flip, or anything. If it feels like it's starting to get very unstable, then your hand is not properly placed. It may be too far to the top of your block, or you have to figure out how to stabilize. Inhaling, come back to a plank. Stabilize, push down evenly, and then chaturanga, mini chaturanga push-up, downward facing dog. Inhaling, zero load into the wrist, please. Chaturanga, push-up, tiny ones, and back. And come back down on all fours. And then we're gonna flip the blocks up to the highest point. Rest assured, we're not going to do the plank to dog at this height. We're just gonna see, make sure your blocks are wide enough, because if you do have the range, your head and shoulders might be lower than the blocks. But I wouldn't go too much lower. You still want to keep the neck and the rest of the spine aligned, so we're not hanging the head down. Of course, you can experiment with moving the hands. If your head is lower, right, and you can move your hands back without interfering with the alignment of your spine, you can experiment with how far to move it back. If the bottom front edge of your block, they flip up a little bit, that's okay. Are you remembering to suction the armpits up? This is important. And then slowly release. Put your blocks aside and come up onto a plank, downward facing dog. Back to a plank and dog and plank and dog. Inhaling, look forward, come up, exhale, fold. Stay here and standing forward fold. I haven't practiced yet this morning, so I can feel my stiffness. And when you do feel stiffness and you just are starting to warm up, we cannot rush the body. Be gentle, but firm. You want to be gentle, but firm and methodical. My knees are still bent, by the way. And I'm working more to get the side rib cage down, pressing into my thighs. And I'm working hard to remember to get the inseam of my legs activating upwards. Carol, you've got some rounding there in the shoulder blade area. Use your legs to come up. Exhaling, palms down. Inhaling, arms go up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. Keep your legs supercharged. Exhale, fold. Rise up all the way. There's no change that you can feel in the blood pressure as we could go up and down, okay? I'm going to pick up the pace just slightly, just to test you, because I want to make sure you activate enough when we go up and down. You're not going to feel a difference in the pressure. Inhaling, arms go up. You got to keep the bandhas engaged too. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, press up. Exhale, palms down. Inhaling, arms reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, rise up all the way. Exhale, palms down. Inhaling, arms up, sun A. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, lengthen. Step back, plank pose. Inhale, here. And chaturanga, down. Inhaling, cobra. Let's do a cobra first. 5 deep breaths. You don't have to do a high cobra. That's 1. Just show me what you're doing with your thoracic spine and how you're creating that thoracic spinal extension through the work in the shoulder blades. Anchor the top of the feet down without pushing down so much, and stretch the big toes away from you and lower down. Press up, plank, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. 1. 2. 3. Inhaling, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, rise. Exhale, palms down. Chair pose. Sun B. Inhale. Exhale, press up and fold. Inhaling, lengthen. Let's step back, plank pose. Stay here. Inhaling. Pivot your heels to the right. Inhale back to center. If you modify it, put the knees down, just hold it. You don't need to do anything, just stay in that modified plank. Heels to the right, back to center, to the left again, back to center. Let's go ahead and come down, chaturanga, until we're on the belly. Cobra. Repetitions, 10. Come down, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. Push up, downward facing dog. Right leg goes up. Step forward, warrior 1. Inhaling, rise up. Stay here, warrior one. 5 deep breaths. 1. So I'm not correcting you today. That's about 3. Inhaling, reach up. Come back down. You can go straight to dog pose. Otherwise, chaturanga, up dog or cobra. Make sure the chin doesn't stick forward of your chest. Downward facing dog when you're in that up dog. Left leg goes up. Step forward, warrior one. 5 deep breaths. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Come back down. Let's all go to cobra. 10 repetitions. So let's go down. Before you come up to cobra, let's start here. 10 repetitions. Go for it. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Push up. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, come up. Exhale, fold. And chair pose. Rise up. And good. Reset through the arms. Exhale, palms down. Good. Inhaling, arms go up. Flex the right leg forward. Step back, high lunge. Step back, knee up. Good job. Step back, step back. Let's try again. High lunge, left leg forward. Step back, knee up. Eagle. Work with the legs first before you incorporate the arms. One more breath. Release. Step back. Plant the hands. Lower the back knee. Low lunge. Keep your hands down. Set up your legs well. Then push into your left thigh. Both hands. Pretend there's that egg at the front of your left hip. We're not going to crush it. Rib 1, 2, and 3, please keep the shoulders down, but the chest broad and lifting without your rib cage busting out. Crown of the head directly over the tailbone. Both hands down, either side of your foot. Your right hand depends on, we're about to twist to the left. So your right hand really needs to track the shoulder. So it has to be based on the extent of your twist. Make sure the front knee is pointing forward on your twist. We're not going to pivot out to the side, at least not for now. That's another pose. So if I were standing in front of your block and I'm looking at the crown of your head, it's a straight shot to the tailbone, perpendicular to the short end of your mat. Or if you can't get your body to twist as much, the angle is still pretty slight. If you're not sure what I mean, I can demonstrate later. All right, now we're going to open up the left hip. So stay in your twist. Walk your left foot out to the left and turn the toes out to the left. And then you're going to roll on the outer edge of the left foot with the toes of your left foot pointing up towards the knee. You stay in your twist though. You're just changing up the front leg from a neutral thigh position to an external thigh position. The reason why we have to flip onto the outer edge of the foot is because you want your ankle, toes, all of that to track and align with the rest of the joints of the chain. So I'm not suggesting that you're ready for it, but if you are, bend the back leg, grab the foot to kind of create more stretch there in the front of your right hip and your quads. You could always use your strap too. No back bend. No back bend. This is a spinal twist. Yeah, if you can't flip your foot onto the outer edge of the foot, it's fine. Just work on your twist. And, you know, Mary Lou, and you're already so open in the hip. You don't need to work more on that external rotation. Just work on a twist. No back bend. Keep your belly button pulled in and up and release. Half split. Okay, come back, high lunge. Step back, knee up. Here, keep that knee up. Shoulders over the hips, and then step back. High lunge. Plant your hands down, plank pose. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, look forward, bend the knees, come up. Exhale, fold. Rise up. Palms down. Inhaling, arms up. Left leg flexes out. Step back, high lunge. Push back, knee up. Let's try it again. Eagle. Come out of it. High lunge. Into low lunge. Put your hands down on the floor, set up your legs first. And then you come up, push both hands into the front thigh. Remember, there's an egg in the right hip. There's so little weight on the back knee. And then slowly put both hands down. You're going to twist to the right. Take your time to set up. As you're twisting, make sure you didn't just put all that weight forward. You have to anchor even more into the back leg so that extra weight is not going to keep shifting to the front. What is the rotation of the top arm in this pose? It's the same rotation as your arms are in airplane. We're not going to externally rotate it more. That would be when you bring your arms up overhead, but not off to the side. Here, your top arm is 90 degrees to the body. Therefore, it does not need to externally rotate that much. In fact, there's more internal rotation than external rotation, unless you flip your palms up. Grab the back foot. Oh yeah, sorry. Pivot your right foot out to the side. Have your toes point out. Not everybody. Mary Lou, you skip this one. Have your foot straight. Have those of you who's got the foot turned out to the side, have your toes of that foot point up towards the knee and turn on the outer edge of that foot. Come out of it anytime. Otherwise, stay here for a couple more breaths. If you're out of it, go into a half split. Come back into high lunge. Then step back, knee up. Just keep that pose, knee up. Don't feel bad if you're missing the mark here when you step back. It takes me a few tries to kind of get exactly how much to shoot, it's fine. Go ahead and step back, forward, sorry. And then try again, stepping back. And sometimes if you didn't get good sleep or disrupted sleep, whatever, it will throw off the balance. Step forward. Inhaling, arms reach up. Exhale, fold. Sorry, come down, plank, into downward facing dog. Then you walk or jump up. Good. Rise up all the way. Good. Inhaling, arms up. And go ahead and flex the right leg out in front, or you can keep the knee bent, whatever you like, whatever you like, whatever helps you create stability here. Go ahead and bring it back, warrior 3. Step back, high lunge. Inhaling, arms go up. Warrior 1. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Back to warrior 1. Back to warrior 2. I'm not cueing the breath because you need to know the breath at this point. When to breathe in, when to breathe out, in these very basic transitions. From here, inhaling, warrior 3. Warrior 3, sorry. Back to high lunge. Stay in the high lunge. Good. From here, let's plant the back foot down. Just briefly say hi to warrior 2, but you have to make sure you're anchored before you transition to half moon. You keep that, make sure let's not overshoot when you anchor for push forward. Try a couple times, just two times. When you're transitioning from half moon to warrior 2 to half moon, and the front knee and the anchor on the heel shifts, guaranteed you won't be able to balance. Okay, come back, high lunge. Squat back to the back leg. Back leg. Squat to the front leg. You could totally skip it. You could just stay in high lunge and squat, or put your hands down on the floor so you have support. And I pointed out a few times when you're squatting from side to side, you want to have the crown of the head track the tailbone the whole time. We're not going to change that direction. Okay, come back, high lunge, left leg in front. Step it forward, knee up, and then plant your foot down. Let's reset. Inhaling, arms up, left knee up, or flex the leg out. Bring it back, warrior 3. Step it back, high lunge. Inhaling, arms reach. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. And then back to warrior 1. Warrior 3. High lunge to warrior 3. step back, high lunge. We're going to briefly visit warrior two and take it into half moon. Or you don't need to make your visit short, by the way. You could make it solid until you're solid in warrior two, then you go into half moon. Maybe that visit is really for Olga. Just briefly visit warrior two and just swiftly go into that transition to warrior three. Take your time. You do however much of this you want. You don't have to just follow all my cues. It is challenging, no doubt. Okay, let's step it back. High lunge. Your right leg is in front. Half squat to the back leg. Half squat to the front leg. Make sure your tailbone and your crown of the head, they move together as one. Go a couple times side to side. You can put your hands on the floor for support, for sure. Good, Audrey, really nice tracking there. Okay, come back, high lunge. And step forward. And then plant your foot. Reset. Good. Bye. Mary Lou has to go. Okay. Inhaling, arms go up. And step back to high lunge, right leg steps back. However you want to transition that leg, right leg steps back. Good. Keep that nice high lunge position. Pyramid A. Pyramid A. Pyramid A. You could use your blocks there. You can even get your blocks higher, a couple of you. Do a good pyramid A. And then if you want, you can experiment with pyramid 2 or 3. Or just stay here, pyramid 1. And then let's go ahead and come out of pyramid and go into the warrior 2 feet position to take yourself into a triangle. A triangle should be done with a shorter stance than warrior 2. But the foot angle and the leg and the hip rotation is the same. Perhaps even more rotated in. So you can clear the torso to flex forward. So good, everybody. The left side of your front, the chest area, needs to open up, not hidden. That has to be pushed forward with the shoulder blade. Otherwise, it's clear that the shoulder blade is not anchored in the body. Okay, come up. Square your hips. Same foot, you have to kind of, if you need to adjust the back foot so you can square your hips without creating conflict. We're going to go into reverse triangle. The back foot is planted. Reverse triangle. Reverse triangle, the foot is down. It's like you're going to the classic pyramid, like this. It's like you're going to the classic pyramid, hips are square. Reverse triangle, twist. Twist to the left, right hand down on the block or mat. Front leg is straight. For pyramid, stance cannot be long here because you will not be able to square your hips, especially the right hip. Audrey, you have to shorten your stance quite a bit. And make sure the right hip does not drop when you're twisting. More weight into the back foot. Otherwise, that right hip would completely be pulled forward and down. It needs to pull back and up, not forward and down. Your right hip. Okay, slowly come out of it. Back into high lunge. Walk up. And then just stay there in mountain. Reset through the arms. Good. We're going to move the left leg back, however you want to transition that leg to high lunge. Stay in a strong high lunge position and go into pyramid 1. Feel free anytime you like to go into pyramid 2 or 3 or just stay. That back foot and on the modification, make sure you angle it because the heel cannot come up. You don't want to overstretch Achilles tendon. And then please come out of it. You're going to go into a triangle, so set up your feet. Sandy, we're almost done. You missed a good class, I think. I liked what we're doing today. Make sure the fingers are not glued together because the gate at the wrist needs to stay open for energy flow. Fingers cannot be stuck together. This is not a external rotation of your top arm. Remember what I said earlier? Because you're not reaching your top arm overhead. You're just having it out into airplane. Okay, come out of it. Work yourself into a reverse triangle. And what I said about the left hip, right? Its action is to lift up and back, up and back. If you more like too many of you are showing the hip moving forward and down, except for Carol. Triangle pose, the stance is never too long because you won't be able to manage your pelvis. That's absolutely true. Even in my body, you can't manage it very well and then do a twist on top of it. Okay, come out of it slowly into high lunge. Then step back up. Plant the foot. Let's reset through the arm. I'm just thinking, what did I miss, y'all? Otherwise, if you're fine with me missing it, we could just take it down to a seat. Did I miss anybody that you're just like dying to do? Then let's do it. Otherwise, let's go ahead and take a seat. I like this today. Thank you, guys. Very nice. You inspired me. I'll be sending out this recording, like quite a few, since I haven't. I'll be sending out maybe at least 4 videos later. Seated forward fold. Just to do a reset. And then sit up, sit up, right? And let's just move through the arms, get more, like just clear things with your arms, like even mentally, emotionally, whatever that you brought to the mat, just clear it all. Go find, get yourself into a much clean slate. Okay. All right. So I want to take you down on your back instead of doing seated postures. So please lie down on your back, hug your knees into your chest. Roll from side to side. And then plant the feet for bridge pose. Bridge pose with cactus arm position. Cactus arm position. Good. Now, when you come up into bridge, you want to try to make sure your feet are set up. So as you are in the bridge, your shin bones are perpendicular to the mat. It's fine if your shin bones are slightly out, but just don't have your feet too far into the body, okay? It's fine to have it slightly away from the body, but not too close to the body, where your heels start at the butt. Don't have your heels start at the butt. Many years ago, teachers used to teach like that. You do not want to follow it. Okay, now anchor down with your heels. More on the inner. If you can't, if you tend to pivot on the outer edge of your heels, start to pivot more on the inner part of your heels. But as much as we can, we press down at the center of the heels. Okay, now have your feet point up, your toes are up. I know some of you with your foot issues, just keep your feet flat. Don't need to do anything that I'm saying. Okay, so, but we can all do the cactus arm position, and we can all come into a bridge, whether your feet are turned up or not. We're going to do repetitions up and down. Okay, up and down. Drive from your feet. Please don't lift through your hips. Don't lift through your hips. You drive from your feet. Use your thighs to help you anchor and press the hips up. So don't initiate from the hips, in other words, okay? Let's go up and down 15 times. Press up. 1, 2, 3. When you press up, you have to traction your heels forward, not just by pushing straight down. I lost my count. Let's make this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Go ahead and rest, just rest. Try not to kind of move at all, just rest with your back down. Knees are still bent. Good. Those of you with the heels anchored and the toes up, feet up, come up into bridge and show me. Only if you have your feet pointing up. Otherwise, you just stay down, not just the toes, the whole feet. Good. Now, those of you up in bridge, walk your shoulder blades down the back and get them closer towards the midline. Anchor more with your arms. Okay, come down. Let's go ahead and do a reset. Hug your knees. Good. Now, just turn a quarter so that your feet are facing the camera. I want to be able to see your legs from the front, from your feet. And show me your feet too. So you have to, some of you have to shift back a little bit so I can see your feet. Yeah. And you got to turn your body a quarter so that your back a quarter, like a full quarter. Do you guys know? You could take a look at what Carol and Olga is doing. Like if you like divided your whole movement around into 4 equal parts, you move a quarter so I can actually see your feet. Now come up to your version of bridge. Audrey, I think your camera is frozen. Oh no, you're actually. Okay, stay here. Don't come up too high because I don't want you to get tired. I just want to check your feet so I can. I said today I wasn't going to correct, but this pose I will. Olga, both feet in towards the midline, at least about an inch. Olga, move your feet towards the midline, like shift your heels towards the midline about an inch. And then your put more weight pivoting to the inner right heel without your toes pivoting out. Same foot. I'm talking about your right foot. Okay, so Audrey, your feet, they're so wide apart. They need to walk in at least towards the midline. Yeah, there you go. Carol, pretty good, but you want to activate with a hugging of the inner thighs to the midline. Don't let it part. Good. Olga, watch the right foot. It likes to go turn out on you. Your left foot is fine. It's only your right foot. Okay, up and down 10 times. Whatever version, just Sandy, when you come up, pretend there's a block between your inner shins. Hug that. Yeah, there you go. Not too fast. Come up and down, up and down. Audrey, your feet need to come closer, or the inner ankles, they need to get closer. Inner ankles, you got to move your feet, not the knee, just a little bit. Keep hugging to the midline, Carol. Okay, come down. Remember this because I typically can't see you from this view. You gotta remember. Okay, go ahead and sit, reset. Yeah, you can return to your whatever position, angle you want. Okay, and hug your knees. Gently roll from side to side. Find an inversion to do. However you're feeling, you're using this inversion to help you calm down more. If you're already calm, then that's great. You can go into meditation, just rest, meaning don't be going into something so active. Olga, really good pose. Of course, anytime you want to get out of your inversion and take yourself to Shavasana, that's always nice. Carol, just with a show of hands, pick a number between the number 1 and 64. You can 6, 6, Okay, the number 6 is the conflict card. Conflict is fundamentally a clash of wills. And the clash arises first of all within each of the combatants. When an individual or group feels strongly about the rightness of an idea, a proposal, or a certain way of doing things, it is easy to lose sight of a bigger picture, where each vantage point offers a unique and valuable perspective. And when opposing sides of a conflict get locked in to their positions, both lose the perspective that is needed to come to a resolution. In fact, the atmosphere can become so overheated and tense that each party begins to see the struggle as a matter of life and death. The first casualty of such clash is to the potential that lies within each of us to experience ourselves as an integral part of the whole, vast enough to embrace a 360-degree perspective and strong enough to step out of the fight or flight duality. There's always a third option, which involves neither surrendering one's own deeply felt truth nor forcing an unwilling other to submit to one's own desires. But this option requires that the clenched fist be relaxed into an open hand and that the heart and the mind be kept open. I love this card. I love this card. It is one of my favorite cards, and it's so relevant to our society at large and how strongly we push an idea, how right or wrong is so black and white, and how we force our opinions, our truths on others. It is a very troubling phenomenon that I see in our society, and it's becoming more and more so conflict-wise, which is why I love the card. And thank you for picking this card. I was hoping somebody would pick it. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Great practice. Thank you. Bye.